What do you think Democrats need to be prepared for here?
Well, I think they have to be plainly, prepared to fight, prepared to keep telling the truth, be prepared for anything.
Yes, Adam Kinzinger, Adam, whatever he is, he was on MS-13 DNC over the weekend. I think, it's got to start digging the trenches and working on the ballistic missiles in your backyard, because the left has taken over the Democrat Party, and they're here to burn and steal everything and then to kill everyone because they're the left. You know the left is. They're not good at much, but killing people and wrecking stuff, they're good at that. I fight authority. Authority always win. A very good and happy Monday to you once again. We are at 888-630-9625. The Democrats are looking to steal democracy at gunpoint. They're going to cancel all 7 Supreme Court justices in the Commonwealth of Virginia so they can replace them with non-English-speaking, gun-toting, tattooed gang members from some backward-ass beephole country. And then the Democrat Party knows that they will serve the interests of the left in dismantling the United States of America, the Constitution of the United States, the Bill of Rights, the free speech, free practice of religion, the right to own firearms. The Democrat Party is against America. They're not on our side. Hakeem Jeffries, extremist, radical, anti-Semite, racist, anti-capitalist, communist, jihadi. And that's not really hyperbole. That's what's on his business card. Hakeem Jeffries posting, the decision by the Virginia Supreme Court to overturn the will of more than 3 million voters will not stand. How will it not stand, carjacker? That's the U.S. Capitol Police. They have code names for the senior congressional officials that get protection from the Capitol Police. His is carjacker. His code name is carjacker. And Hakeem Jeffries put out a statement. Someone else wrote it for him. Said, over 3 million Virginia citizens cast their votes in a free and fair election to steal seats in the House of Representatives and violate the state constitution of Virginia. Yet the state Supreme Court has chosen to invalidate their voice, what with the Constitution and everything, disenfranchise them and violate their due process rights. All lies, all lies. He went to law school, apparently, at the NYU School of Law. They'd like their diploma back. Hey, Osama, we'd like our diploma back here. The decision, Hakeem Jeffries says, to overturn an entire election is an unprecedented and undemocratic action that cannot stand. And they're digging trenches around Richmond. They're going that lumber yard in Atlanta is going to be their new headline. And Rhett Butler is going to have to come in. Listen to this. MAGA Republicans have adopted voter suppression as a strategy. He's a criminal, and he should probably be in handcuffs and in solitary confinement somewhere like January 6th, peaceful protester. Amazing. MAGA Republicans have adopted voter suppression strategy. They keep saying this because civil war is their goal in the United States, as also evidenced by far-right extremists on the Supreme Court, the U.S. Supreme Court. They've already arrested one Democrat outside of one Supreme Court justice's home with his burglary tools, kidnapping tools, the gun, the extra ammo, planning on murdering 3 Supreme Court justices. The Democrats have doxed them and targeted members of the Supreme Court. We've had to add extra security to members of the Supreme Court because of filth like this criminal named Carjacker here, Carjacker Jones. Amazing stuff. So, yeah, MAGA Republicans have adopted how is that voter suppression strategy? Well, you got to show an ID to vote, and the soft bigotry of low expectations has it that the Democrats think that black people and other people who aren't white aren't smart enough to get a photo ID, and they function by living under bridges and begging people for money so they can get drugs and die on the sidewalk and then be scraped up, which is the Democrat plan for homelessness. That's their thing. And there he is, the extremists on the Supreme Court gutting the Voting Rights Act. Nothing of the kind happened. To open the door to Jim Crow-like attack on black representation across the American South. Every Jim Crow law was a filthy Democrat law. Hakeem Jeffries is a filthy Democrat. He is Jim Crow. He might not even be black. And Hakeem Jeffries says, we are exploring all options to overturn this shocking decision, no matter what it takes, by any means necessary. House Democrats will win in November so we can help rescue this nation from the extremism being unleashed by Donald Trump and Republicans. And then they shot Steve Scalise and they shot Donald Trump and they tried mass political assassination at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Our fight is not over. We are just getting started. That's the warlike, belligerent terrorism of Hakeem Kwame. His middle name's Kwame, too. You see that, Kwame? And Ken Cuccinelli, a great attorney general in Virginia, should still be attorney general. But Democrats are all mentally ill. So we've got that problem. But Ken Cuccinelli said, actually, the Virginia Supreme Court protected the constitutional rights of all Virginians, including the value of their votes and, most importantly, their due process rights under the Virginia Constitution. Saying crazy things like this doesn't make them true. And he shot that to Hakeem Jeffries. Turns out that Hakeem Jeffries has a brother named Hassan Kwame Jeffries, because they're all anti-American wannabe jihadis. They want to fight Lawrence of Arabia. And Hassan Kwame Jeffries said, John Brown, the violent anti-slavery radical, and the Democrats were slavery. John Brown was anti-Democrats. John Brown, here's what Hassan, he's another professor, Kwame Jeffries, Hakeem Jeffries' brother. Hakeem and Hassan, not around the Christmas table. You don't see a lot of pictures around the Christmas table. Maybe around the jihad table, where they're disemboweling the Jews or something. John Brown, he said, understood that the only way to free America from the scourge of white supremacy was to get rid of white supremacists by any means necessary. He was right then. He is right now. Well, he's not right now. He's been dead for, over a century. But never mind that. He can't still be. But just amazing. He's not right because he's not saying that. But here is Hassan Kwame Jeffries. They love that Kwame stuff, don't they? Yeah, Ooga Booga Kwame. You're bringing African politics to America? Yeah, sure they are. That's what they're doing. Just great stuff. And then Jeremy Carl responded to Hassan Kwame Jeffries. And Jeremy Carl said, brother of U.S. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, Ohio State professor, host of a podcast, which is sponsored by the Southern Poverty Law Center, which has ties to multiple murderous terrorist attacks in the United States of America, including the Family Research Council and shooting Congressman Steve Scalise and trying to murder the entire Republican baseball team, to name just a couple of Southern Poverty Law Center terrorist attacks. And Jeremy Krell says, this is kind of fun. Remember, he says, they're not trying to kill you because you're a white supremacist. They're calling you a white supremacist so they can justify killing you. This is what the Nazis did, if you ever are looking for how it is that sophisticated people in Germany, educated people in Germany, latched on to the Nazi Party. Look at the Democrat Party today. Everybody's a white supremacist. White supremacists are a threat to civilization itself. Now, they're the ones murdering 40% of the black population in the womb and then abandoning them in D.C. schools and Chicago public schools where they don't learn to write or read or do math or do anything. Just amazing stuff. But it's true, they call you white supremacists to justify killing you. Last week, AOC and other Democrats saying nobody should have $1 billion. You can't earn $1 billion. They said it's impossible. And the reason for this is so they can justify stealing from everyone who's been tremendously successful, unlike them, the loser, bartender, street tramp, AOC, who the Democrats ran for Congress, and then they voted for her.
You can't earn $1 billion.
Steal
That's
it.
right.
You just
That's
can't
right.
earn that.
You just can't. But so many men have, and so have some women. Several by divorce, but some have actually. And look at the whole, what's their name? The Kardashian family. Every 19-year-old girl in that family is a billionaire. And AOC is coming with the guns because they know, as Mao taught them, that all power comes from the barrel of a gun. Just amazing. And they're using all this, and everybody's a racist and a Nazi and a white supremacist, and then they shoot everybody on the baseball field and firebomb the synagogues, and they firebomb the Jewish governor's house, the governor's mansion in Pennsylvania, and on and on and on. They should be wearing armbands. Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, has a Twitter account as well, and he wrote on his Twitter account, House Democrats started the current mid-decade redistricting battle in New York before the 2024 election. Now that it's backfired on them, they're pushing a stunning next step. Nuke the judicial branch of government and pack the court. They are anarchists now. That's the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. They're anarchists now. They're communists, they're terrorists, they're thieves, they're criminals. They abuse every ounce of power that they have secured. They, in the liberal to English translation dictionary, if you look at power, it says something to be abused by the left, to steal. Just amazing, amazing stuff. Yes, sir. And the Calvin Coolidge Project with Democrats are trying to create a plan that will overturn the Virginia Supreme Court ruling that overturned their map. The plan would include lowering the mandatory retirement age for justices from 75 to 54 or less. Therefore, it would remove every current justice on the Virginia Supreme Court. And in doing so, the Democrats would be firing 2 black Virginia Supreme Court justices, including the first black woman to ever serve on the racist Virginia Supreme Court. So that white 3-time loser Dan Helmer can have an easier district to run in. And that is the Democrat Party. They're going to fire the first black woman ever to serve on the Supreme Court in Virginia. The Democrats are the party of the Confederate States of America, of the KKK, of Jim Crow, and of shooting everybody in a political realm. Just amazing. What is it? A Republican president has a 1 in 6 chance of being assassinated while president, right? Our Democrat Party. They're really something. Also in Tennessee, they're trying to, what they say it's a black district in Tennessee, the redistricting. It's a black district. And the white chicken man, the bald-headed chicken man, Steve Cohen, he's been in that seat forever, and he's defeated black candidate after black candidate after black candidate. And the Lion Sacagawea and the Democrat Party come out and say this is a black district, and the Republicans are taking it away from a black. But your guy is white. He's a white member of Congress in that seat, and you call it a black district because you gerrymandered it to make it a majority black voting district. The Republicans are looking at running a black woman as a Republican candidate in that seat, and the Democrats would sooner lynch her than let her become the congresswoman from that district. Just amazing stuff. Also, remember in Virginia, the Democrat racists didn't vote for Winsome Sears, a black woman, an immigrant from Jamaica, a former Marine, pro-America, and they elected a white woman who is a CIA fake, and now they're here to steal everything at gunpoint. Your Democrat Party. You know, it's Mother's Day month. This month, it's Mother's Day month. A lot of Mother's Day activities over the weekend, of course. And it's one of the most beautiful moments of the year to share life-changing news on Mother's Day. You know, maybe you've seen it happen before. A family gathered around the dinner table. Someone stands up and says, next year, There'll be a brand new mom in our family. Yay, and everybody claps, unless it's Democrats. There's nothing like it, really, but for some women, Mother's Day feels very different. Instead of celebrating, they're carrying a secret, afraid, unsure, alone. That's why preborn exists. When a woman sees her baby on an ultrasound and hears a tiny little heartbeat, it could double the chance that she'll choose life and her child will grow up and grow old and be successful. This month, this May, you can help to be the reason that a scared young woman becomes a confident, happy mother. Just $28 provides one ultrasound. That's less than $1 a day for the month, and it could help save a human life, an innocent, helpless life. That moment leads to real support, to maternity care, to baby clothes, to parties, and so much more. And it all starts with that ultrasound. To get involved, all you have to do is dial pound 250, and when prompted, say the keyword baby. That's pound 250. The secret keyword is baby, or you can go to Al Gore's amazing internet to preborn.com/plant. Preborn.com/PLANTE. Yes, sir. Yeah. Those Democrats, I think they got me riled up over the weekend. I think I'm a bit riled up. And I'm at 888-630-9625. All right, let's go back to the telephones, Michael. Talk to the great American people. Let's go to Donna, calling from Frederick, Maryland. Oh, Donna, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
Well, good morning, Chris. I hope you're doing well on this Monday morning.
You betcha.
My comment is this. I think we need to retire the word Democrat. They're not Democrats. They're communists. And they use the word democracy to hide their communism. So I think we really should change that verbiage because it's going to make a big difference going into the midterms. There's too many people out in Normieville sleepwalking their way through every day, not paying attention to the details. And it's the details that matter because all roads lead to the Manchurian candidate, Barack Hussein Obama, whose code name was, I believe, Renegade. How appropriate. And I think the more we learn, the better off we're going to be. And the sooner we change things, the better off the country will be.
Well, it's true. We need a massive coast-to-coast national awakening, and I expect that the Democrats are fighting against that hammer and sickle at every turn. But they don't behave in a democratic way, and they don't behave in an American way. Really gotten to any of my audio, but the Democrat, we had AOC last week say you can't earn $1 billion because she's a mental dwarf. There are squirrels that are smarter than her. Joe Biden might be smarter than her. Isn't that amazing? And AOC, she said last week, and we played it last week, that you can't earn $1 billion, right?
You can't earn $1 billion.
Can't do that.
You just can't earn that.
That's right. And the idiot agreeing with her because it's a dumb-off. It's kind of a dumb-off. But then AOC, she decided to go a little further. Well, there's another, everything's a podcast, right? And nobody ever asks a question that matters. It's just another, oh, yes, that's right. Oh, that's absolutely right. Oh, I agree completely. Whatever they made up in that moment. But then AOC came back with you can't earn $1 billion. And they really just resent success and dislike capitalism. And where's that? Is that in our cut sheet here? That's cut number 14, which is good. It's good number 4. Pretty amazing stuff. And AOC, she is claiming over the weekend that the American Revolution was fought because she's anti-billionaire, and she fought against Amazon going in New York, cost thousands of jobs, high-paying, six-figure jobs in New York. She killed them all because she's stupid, and she's not smart enough to be a communist. She's just stupid. She just hears something and half-baked everything. But here she is. She says the American Revolution was fought against billionaires. Here's AOC.
The American Revolution was against the billionaires of their time. And we are declaring independence from such an extreme marriage of wealth and power and the state.
Yeah, extreme. Take your extreme wealth and power in the state and smell the Democrat Party. And George Soros and Alex Soros, who they told us last week had earned his billions of dollars, which is just mental illness on parade. But there it is. The American Revolution was fought against the billionaires of their time. No, that's the opposite of the truth. The men that fought the American Revolution and started and changed the history of humankind forever and ever, the George Washingtons and Thomas Jeffersons and James Madisons, they were the billionaires of their time. They were landowners. They were slave owners. They were successful and prosperous. They were thrown into this colonial land by the British Crown an ocean away. And what they were, you're saying that the king, George III, the crown in England, those were the billionaires of their time. No, that was the oppressive government of the time. That was the bad, dastardly, criminal, thieving, dishonest government of the time. That's you and your fellow travelers, your idiot friends. Those you people are the corrupt government of the modern age, and the corrupt government of that age was the colonial government in London, the crown, the king, the royal family, and our guys here who were they were well-to-do, but the standards are very different today than they were in the 1700s and the 18th century here in colonial America. We didn't have electricity or cable TV or cell phones or crack pipes for Hunter Biden and his friends. Amazing stuff. But she's such an idiot that actually, that if anything, the billionaires were the American revolutionaries, and they were fighting against a tyrannical regime an ocean away that was oppressing us. And now the oppressive government is here, and it's you. And you're calling for, honestly, as I read the tweet earlier, they label everybody white supremacist because they're gearing up to kill, because they're the left. They slaughter 40% of the black population in the womb, and they harvest their organs. Dr. Yusuf Mengele would be thrilled with them. And, of course, their boy Gergel would be thrilled with them, too. The propaganda minister, Joseph Goebbels, he would be very proud of what the Democrats have become. He's on a rotisserie in hell, licking his chops with envy.
Did I hear you correctly say that perhaps he was influenced by Gergel?
Yeah, maybe he was influenced by Gergel. So that's it. The American Revolution was fought against the billionaires of their time. Lie, not true, completely false. You're all mental dwarves. Just amazing stuff. They get dumber and dumber. Boy, I got to tell you. And then they've got this Nazi that they're running in Maine for the United States Senate, Graham Plattner. And he's got a big tattoo on his chest, the size of a can of Campbell's soup. And it's a Nazi SS tattoo on his chest. And it was found up, and he's like, well, yeah, I was kind of in a dark mood. Yeah, that's what Hitler said, too. Yeah, I was kind of in a dark mood. I was a little moody. But this guy, he's a communist, and he's a veteran communist. We shouldn't allow Democrats into the military. They're just going to undermine everything. But here is the main Nazi, M-A-I-N-E, because it could be M-A-I-N, Nazi in the Democrat Party. Graham Plattner with the big Nazi tattoo. He had the tattoo tattooed over so it doesn't look as much like his old SS tattoo on his chest. But here he comes because the terrible people like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, they're billionaires. But what about the guy who works Uber Eats? Shouldn't he have the government steal all of Bezos's money and give it to him with the guns?
I refuse to believe that there is some metric of hard work that says that the people I know in Hancock County that work 3 or 4 jobs to keep a roof over their head, that somehow Elon Musk or Peter Thiel or Jeff Bezos work so much harder than them that they deserve to be a billionaire and these people deserve to live in poverty.
Yeah, well, that's nobody said that they deserve to live in poverty. If they live in poverty, it's probably because of your failed education system, your failed economic plans, and your inability to deal with the real world. And so there's the Nazi, and he's the Democrats' candidate for the Senate. They should run a black Republican woman against him. Then the Democrats could lynch her, as they have a long history of doing. These people, can I just tell you? Have you seen in Tennessee where the Democrats are trying to steal? They're doing whatever they can, and the Republicans have kicked back and said, well, wait a minute. You guys are trying to steal. And again, as the Speaker of the House pointed out, the Democrats started redistricting in New York in 2022, mid-decade, supposed to historically wait for the every 10-year census across the country, right? But let's go to this nice lady, because in Tennessee there is a nice lady who is an elected representative, a state representative in Tennessee, and they're showing up for the vote, and a gang of Democrats showed up to harass her and threaten her and call her names. Now, this is a gray-haired woman in her 70s arriving at the State House in Tennessee, and the mob of Democrats showed up. It's Deborah Moody is the woman's name, state representative in Tennessee. She's a Republican. She has a full head of gray hair. She is a grandmother, according to reports that I've read. And a gang of black people showed, she's white, and a gang of black agitators and lunatics showed up and started insulting her and calling her racial slurs and cursing. We had to beep the heck out of it, because this filth that represents the Democrat Party, just amazing stuff. So here it is, and this is organized black resistance. And again, to keep Steve Cohen, Chicken Man, a white, Jewish, nebbishy, bald-headed, left-wing dimwit who, remember, eating the bucket of chicken on the House floor during a filibuster or something, and he became Chicken Man. But just completely ridiculous. And Todd Starnes, the Fox News guy, you may know him from Fox News, writes, these black pieces of garbage terrorized this precious white Christian grandmother. They called her a raggedy beep and a raggedy mother beep, and need to find out who these savages are, says Todd Starnes. They should be arrested and face criminal charges for terrorizing an elected official. And this is what it sounded like when the nice lady, who's, again, an elected state representative, Deborah Moody, and a Republican woman, and the Democrat mob showed up to terrorize her.
You racist pieces of shit. You're gonna fall over and die. I hope you fall down the stairs, you raggedy b****.
They love calling everybody pedophiles because they're all child rapists. Have you seen that? And they love calling President Trump a pedophile, and then you're a pedophile protector if you voted, because the Democrats made up this stuff that they've lied about constantly. Oh, the Epstein files have 1,000 mentions of Donald Trump. It's like cut and paste from Time magazine articles where he's talking about running for president. It's and the Democrats had these files for 4 years under Joe Biden, and they're just the one collective giant lion Sacagawea. And so these terrorists are chasing this woman down the street, and they're cursing her out and using every vulgarity known to man. These filthy, they have the kind of standards and practices of street prostitutes in Detroit in the wintertime.
All asses can't even make it down the stairs. Raggedy mother, I hope you trip and break your ankle. You racist mother.
I hope your sons aren't murderers.
I can't believe you holding this. Children, they kidnap kids, and y'all carrying that on y'all's back. You gonna die with this shit.
Standard English would go a long way, don't you think?
Oh, bless your heart. I hope your daughter has kids by a black man.
I hope your daughter has kids by a black man.
I hope you got some biracial mixed kids.
I hope you got some biracial mixed kids. That's okay. Well, that's very interesting. That's good, and that's and it's there. This is an organized mob out there to terrorize. They should be hit with a fire hose, like Bull Connor and the Democrats used to love doing so much. Maybe bring the dogs out, tasers, get them all wet, then hit them with the tasers.
Racist pieces of shit.
This is a state rep who is being chased by this mob of mentally ill criminals. I know people that moved to the United States 4 years ago from Central Asia that speak English better than these people.
Rude ass. Rude ass. Rude ass. Don't trip down the stairs, raggedy mother. You decrepit pieces of shit. Racist bastards.
Yeah, know that you are the KKK. You're the party of slavery. You're Jefferson Davis. This is standard Democrat Party stuff. They've made this perfectly normal.
Like raping kids, you don't. Pedophile, nasty bastard. Oh, she gonna see hell. They both gonna see hell. Oh, cowards! No, you a man. Stand your ass up. Stand your mother ass here.
This is all about the Democrats stealing seats in the House of Representatives in Washington, D.C. And they've got these ignorant, uneducated, illiterate morons who are criminals, and they're vulgar, and they've organized them. The Democrat Party has organized them. And this is what you get. And it's about stealing seats in Virginia and in Maryland and in Tennessee, and all of New England was stolen by them long ago, and California and Illinois gerrymandered by them years ago. The Democrat Party. Yes, sir. Also, I got to remember Rachel Dolezal. Rachel Dolezal. She's the white lady who pretended she was black and became the head of the Democrat NAACP as a white woman pretending to be black with shoe polish on her face or something. Didn't she rub stuff on? Race faker Rachel Dolezal reveals raunchy new career. She's a Democrat. You can tell by the mental illness from satellite photos. Infamous race faker turned OnlyFans model Rachel Dolezal has revealed she's becoming a certified sex coach to help pay the bills. Will she coach black people or white people or only mulattoes or only race fakers or what is she? 48-year-old mom. Can you imagine? The 48-year-old mom told the Daily Mail she's nearly completed her 300-hour certified sex coach qualification several years after turning to OnlyFans in the wake of her highly publicized downfall. Amazing stuff. So wait, she's actually a woman, not faking that, but she's just faking being black. So she, Dolezal now legally goes by Nakiche Diallo. Nakiche Diallo, because she's black. She should add Kwame in there, too. She should put a Kwame in there. Should be Nakiche Kwame Diallo. A Nigerian-inspired name sparked widespread fury a decade ago when it was revealed she was born white but had been presenting herself as a black woman and became the head of the NAACP in her hometown. Hey, we've got a white black lady here. Just amazing. After her fake black thing was revealed, she started selling raunchy photos and nude photos on OnlyFans to make ends meet, so to speak. People would suggest because you have name recognition, just do this. You'll become a millionaire, she said. But that would be evil. Then the state would have to hold you at gunpoint and steal all your money. The Democrat Party membership is a mental illness.
My question to you is, why not identify how you identify? Like, why not give me the right to identify how I identify? I give everybody else the same.
The national debt on this date, going back and forth with my friend Miko Pelka, the national debt clock in 2008, $10 trillion. $10 trillion. Isn't that something? And then Barack Obama was elected. Now it's $39 trillion. They're bankrupting capitalism. The communists are here. They're not on our side. Let's go to the telephones. Let's go to Sammy, calling from Memphis, Tennessee. Sammy, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
Good morning, Chris. Good to speak with you again. Great show, as usual, sir.
Welcome. Thank you. Thank you.
That clip that you just played with all the screaming banshees, if I'm not mistaken, was that taking place at a Jasmine Crockett festival?
Isn't every day a Jasmine Crockett festival? Everywhere you go.
In the Democrat Party, of course.
English is not their friend, and they're no friend of English.
Absolutely not, sir. Deplorable is the word, completely.
Well, yeah, and these are your home. This is going on in your backyard.
Absolutely, you are absolutely right. And it's funny. I have a Steve Cohen story, if you like.
Well, I'm running out the clock on you, but if you can do it real quick.
I live right here in Midtown Memphis, and he's a resident right here in Midtown Memphis. And a few months ago, I pulled up at the stoplight down the street from my house. He was right in front of me, coincidentally, and he got out of his car at the stoplight, walked in front of his vehicle, and picked up a shard of metal out of the street.
You got to hang there and tell the rest of the story.